I'm Cole. This is my journey becoming a professional soccer player, building a bootstrap business, and showing my path to self-mastery. I make these videos to teach people how to create their ideal life. Today's video is focused on something that's really hard to see in real time, which is growth. Starting out, you're probably not going to notice how much you change. Since you are with yourself every single day and you see what actions you're taking, it's a lot harder to notice the subtle changes that happen. This is very evident when compared to seeing someone you haven't seen in a long time. I just moved into a new city, which I haven't been to in 3 years, so I was catching up with some of my friends that I haven't seen in a while. I can see the changes that they've gone through physically as they've grown up and mentally as I'm talking to them. This is a lot different from when you're interacting with someone day after day. It's a lot harder to make vast differences in your life in one day. So if you're constantly seeing someone, you may see them change slightly every single day. But since you see the gradual change from one to another, you're not going to have this big realization to show how different they are. And then also for yourself, since you're with yourself every single minute of every single day, the changes are going to appear gradual, so it doesn't seem like that much of a difference. The way that you can really see that you've changed is all at once. I can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but there's a time that comes when you can see the change in either the behavior that you're doing or physically in the mirror. These realizations don't come every single day, and they are far and few between, but the change appears to happen all at once when it was actually an effort of what you've done every single day. In order to get to the point where you can see the changes, you have to do repetition. Depending on what you're striving for, that's going to be different. If you're in the gym, you're going to have to do a lot of repetitions with weights, working out different parts of the body continually week after week, doing exercises on the same muscles to get them stronger. If you're doing work trying to become a world-class entrepreneur, you're going to have to continually learn how to create a business and then scale that from startup to whatever size you want to. You're likely to still see yourself as an imposter and not someone who is capable of achieving what you may have achieved. Imposter syndrome is something that's hard to get over, but it's a lot easier when you're confident in your ability to do something. Repetition is extremely important in becoming the person that you want to be. Having focus on one task and continually working at it until you become an expert is necessary for success. Now, if there are multiple facets to your job, you can't only focus on one thing at a time. So it may be that you go through different periods where you're really focusing on one aspect that you want to improve, getting all the repetitions that you can, even if the work isn't very interesting. Through those weeks and months of you continually hammering on the new skill, you're going to change yourself into a new person. Along the path, you may feel that you aren't making any progress or that you've kind of plateaued. This is something that you really want to look at. There's really only two options. Either you've slacked off and you're not doing enough to really take yourself to that next level, or you haven't realized that this is just what it takes of continual repetition. If you do find yourself on the first path where something needs to change, first you have to analyze what you are doing. Then you should probably figure out other people who've already taken the path that you're on, what they did to get over the current obstacle that you're facing, and then implement their solution to fit your need. If you are in the middle of doing repetition, this is where you have to condition your mind to continue to do the work even if you don't like it. There may be times where the work is boring or unfulfilling and you would rather do something else. Sticking to your craft, continually working even when you don't want to, will take you to the next level. Finally, I would suggest to you to take whatever path is most interesting. I think that my path that I'm choosing to take is very interesting to tell. I was interacting with a lot of people today, telling them about what I just have accomplished in terms of graduating college and then what I'm doing in the future, and everyone was pretty enamored by what I was doing. And I was thinking about how I would describe my life if I took a safe path, such as just finishing out college and going to work in New York. That may be interesting to a few people, but honestly to me, that's not interesting at all. Choose something that's interesting to you, because at the end of the day, you only have one life to live. And playing it safe and doing what people expect of you is just going to lead to regret. The interesting path is more likely to be difficult. If it was easy, then everyone would do it. But because it's hard, you will become a better person in the end. So you want to pick whatever is, if you're not really sure what to do, you should pick something that's going to make you grow as much as possible so that you're prepared for whatever comes in front of you. The reason I wanted to talk about this today was because I was hanging out with a friend today who I hadn't seen in 3 years. Towards the end of us being together, she asked if Snapchat was a good way to contact me. I told her that I've gotten off all forms of social media, but WhatsApp is a good way to text me. She then commented saying like, you really have changed. And my initial reaction to that was thank you, because I'm living with myself every day. It's a lot harder for me, as I talked about earlier, to kind of see the changes of myself in the day-to-day process. But I know that I'm continually working, continually trying to be a better version of myself, and other people are gonna see those changes even if I don't. And that comment by her is a reinforcing loop for me to continue to try and be a better person for the people around me. Day 83 of recording myself every day. Thank you and good night.